Assalamu alaikum. My dear students, welcome to chemistry class. I will start chapter 5 today, that is chemical bond. And from chapter 5, today I will discuss about valence electron and valency. At first, valence electron. What is valence electron? The number of total electrons present in the outermost principal energy shell of an element is called valence electron. That means in an atom, the number of electrons which are present in outermost energy shell, that number of electron is valence electron of that atom. For example, sodium. You know that the electron number of sodium is 11, and according to 2n² rule, first shell contains 2 electrons, second shell contains 8 electrons, and the rest 1 electron is present in its outermost shell. So the number of valence electron is 1. Follow another example, fluorine. You know that total number of electron of fluorine is 7. So first shell contains 2 and total number of electron of fluorine is 9. So first shell contains 2 and the second shell contains 7 electron. So its valence electron number will be 7. Now another example, aluminium. Electron number 13. So according to 2n² rule, first shell contains 2, second shell 8, and the valence electron number will be 3. More example, copper 29. So first shell 2, second shell 8, 10, third shell 18, 28, and the outermost shell contain only 1. So its valence electron will be 1. Now sulfur. Electron number 16, 2, 8, 6. So valence electron will be 6. More example, calcium 20. Electronic configuration 2, 8, 8, 2. So its valence electron number will be 2. So my dear students, you can easily determine the number of valence electron from the diagram of an atom. Now we will see how can we determine the valence electron from the electronic configuration. So determination of valence electron from electronic configuration. Follow the example, boron. So electron number 5 and electronic configuration will be 1s², 2s² and 2p1. So what will be the outermost shell here? Second shell. Follow the electronic configuration. Second shell is outermost shell of boron. And here in second shell 2 and 1, that is 3 electrons present. So its valence electron number will be 3. Another example, magnesium. Electronic configuration is this. So its outermost shell is third shell, and third shell contains 2 electrons. So its valence electron number will be 2. More example, phosphorus. So outermost shell is third shell, and third shell contains total 5 electrons. So its valence electron number will be 5. Now potassium 19. And its outermost shell is fourth shell, and here only 1 electron is present, so its valence electron will be 1. Another example, iron 26. Follow the electronic configuration. Here outermost shell is fourth shell, so and it contains 2 electrons, so its valence electron number will be 2. Another example, that is bromine 35. This is the electronic configuration of bromine, and follow the electronic configuration. Which one is the outermost shell? Yes, fourth shell. And here follow the fourth shell. There are 2 plus 5, that is 7 electrons are present. So its valence electron number will be 7. So my dear students, you can easily determine the valence electron like this way from the electronic configuration. Now we will know about valency. In Bengali we can call it jojoni. What is valency? The combining capacity of one atom with other atoms to form a compound is called valency. You know that to form a compound, more than one atoms has to be combined, and the combining capacity of one atom with other atoms is the actually valency of that atom. Generally, the valency of hydrogen or chlorine is taken to be 1. That means the valency of hydrogen or chlorine atom is considered 1 is considered as the valency of hydrogen or chlorine. That means it has the lowest combining capacity. So how can we determine the valence of other atom? It is determined by the number of hydrogen or chlorine atom which is combined with one atom of that element. That means when hydrogen or chlorine attached with other atom to form a compound, then one atom of that element combined with how many number of atoms of hydrogen or chlorine, that will be the valency of that atom. Follow the example. In water, here 2 atoms of hydrogen combined with 1 atom of oxygen. So the valency of oxygen will be 2. In sodium chloride, 1 atom of sodium is combined with 1 atom of chlorine. So the valence of sodium is 1. In calcium oxide, already you have determined the valency of oxygen is 2. So 1 atom of calcium is combined with 1 atom of oxygen. So the valency of calcium is also 2. In zinc chloride, 2 atoms of chlorine is combined with 1 atom of zinc. So the valence of zinc is 2. And in ammonia, 3 atoms of hydrogen is combined with nitrogen. So the valency of nitrogen is 3. So like this way, knowing the formula correctly, you can easily determine the valency of different elements. But also there is a way how can you determine the valency of different elements. Now I will show you. Determination of valency in different way. Here actually we will see how can you determine the valency of metal or non-metal. At first, metal. In case of metal, the number of valence electron is the valency of that metal. Already we have learned how can we determine the valence electron. So now we can easily determining the valence electron, we can easily determine the valency of metal. Follow the example. Lithium, this is the metal, and from the electronic configuration we can see its valence electron number is 1, so its valency is also 1. Beryllium, this is the electronic configuration of beryllium, and outermost shell contains 2 electrons, so its valence electron is 2, so its valency will also be 2. Aluminium, here outermost shell is third shell and it contains 3 electrons, so its valence electron is 3, so its valency will also be 3. Now zinc, another metal, Here outermost shell is fourth shell and it contains 2 electrons, so its valency is also 2. Similarly, manganese 25 electrons, so its outermost shell contains 2 electrons, so its valence electron number will be 2 and its valency is also 2. So like this way, by the determination of valence electron, we can easily determine the valency of metal. Now we will see the determination process of valency of non-metal. In case of non-metal, the number of unpaired electron in its outermost shell is the valency of that element. The number of unpaired electron. This is new term to you. So to understand this, the number of unpaired electron, we will follow Hund's rule, and it is given by scientist Friedrich Hermann Hund. What is the Hund's rule? Hund's rule: in a set of orbitals, the electrons will fill the orbitals in a way that would give the maximum number of parallel spins. That means maximum number of unpaired electrons. Follow the example, then it will be easy to you. Follow here. You know that electronic configuration 1s square, 2s square, and this is the electron, 3 electrons here, so it will be 2p3. So generally when electron enters in each orbital, then at first it enters clockwise, then another electron enters there anti-clockwise. So here in 1s orbital 2 electrons and in 2s orbital 2 electrons enters like this way. But 2p3, in case of 2p3 electronic configuration, you know that in p orbital there are 3 types suborbital, that is px, py and pz, and each orbital can contain maximum 2 electrons. Here electronic configuration is 2p3, so these 3 electrons actually enters like this way. That means it will make the maximum number of parallel spin, that is unpaired state. At first each electron enters in each p orbital clockwise, and if there is more electron then it will enter again anti-clockwise, but at first it will enters clockwise in each suborbital. Follow here. Here 2p3 configuration, so 3 electrons enters in 3 px, py, pz, 3 p orbitals like this way in one direction, not like this way. In px it enters 2, then the rest electron will enters into py, not like that way. Actually 3 electrons enters at first px, py and pz, then if there is p4, then the 4th number electron will be enters into px, not previously. So this is the correct electronic configuration, or this is the correct way to entering electrons in each suborbital, and this is actually obey the Hund's rule. Now we will follow more example, then it will be more clear to us. Follow here. Nitrogen, you know that the electron number of nitrogen is 7, so its electronic configuration will be 1s square, 2s square and 2p3. So 1s, 2s enters the electrons like this way, and 2p3 I have discussed previously, 3 electrons enters actually at first 1 way. Now in case of oxygen electron number 8, that means 2p4. So here at first 3 electrons enters into 3 p orbitals, px, py, pz, then the 4th number electron will enter px orbital. Now fluorine 2p5, so At first 3 electrons enters px, py, pz, then fourth number electron will enter into px and fifth number electron will enter into py, like this way. And neon, there is 2 p6, so at first one electron enters is p suborbital, then fourth number electron will enter px, fifth number py, and sixth number electron will enter into pz. And in previously we have known that the valency of these non-metals will be the number of unpaired electron, isn't it? So here nitrogen is a non-metal, and here we can see the number of unpaired electron of outermost shell is 3, so its valency will be 3. In case of oxygen, we can easily understand here the number of unpaired electron is 2, so its valency will be 2. In case of fluorine, the number of unpaired electron is only 1, so its valency will be 1. And neon, there is no unpaired electron, so its valency will be 0, and you know very well that neon is a inert gas, so it has no valency. Now follow more example. Carbon. Electronic configuration 1s square, 2s square, 2p2. So each electron enters at first clockwise in px and py. For this, the number of unpaired electron will be 2 and valency will also be 2. Now follow more example, that is phosphorus and sulfur. Phosphorus P15 and its electronic configuration is outermost shell configuration is 3s square and 3p3. So like nitrogen, its outermost shell contains 3 unpaired electrons, so its valency will be 3. In case of sulfur, you have seen the number of unpaired electron is 2, so its valency is also be 2. Now I will give a chart of valency of different metal and non-metal, and you have to memorize this chart perfectly. You can determine of metal and non-metal, but you have to also memorize this valency properly, otherwise you will not write the formula correctly. Now my dear students, follow the list. You can see here some elements have more than one valency. Have you seen? Follow here: chromium 3, 6, silver 1, 2, iron 2, 3, sulfur 2, 4, 6. So this is a different characteristics of atom having more than one element. Now we will know about that. Yes, this is variable valency. So what is variable valency? Having more than one valency of an element is called variable valency. Generally an element has one valency, but when any element carry two valencies, or two or more, that is more than one valency, then that valency actually called variable valency. For example, iron 2, 3, sulfur 2, 4, 6, nitrogen 3, 5, phosphorus 3, 5, etc. You have to also memorize this. Now we will know some characteristics of this variable valency. Number 1, active valency. In case of variable valency, the valency of an element which is used in a compound, that is called active valency. That means in a compound the used valency of an atom is actually its active valency. For example, in ferrous oxide, here the valency of iron is 2 used. Follow here, iron valency, one atom of iron combined with one atom of oxygen, and you know that the valence of oxygen is 2, so the valence of iron is also be 2. And you know that iron actually contains a variable cis, that is 2 3, and here between 2 3 2 valency is used in this compound, so here the active valence of iron is 2. In another example, ferric chloride, here the valence of iron is 3 is used, so the active valence of iron is 3. In hydrogen sulfide, the active valency of sulfur is 2. You know that there are 3 variable valencies of sulfur, 2, 4, 6, but in hydrogen sulfide only 2 valency is used, so here the active valence of sulfur is 2. So you can easily understand when among the variable valencies, the used valency in a compound is actually the active valency of that element. Now, highest valency. What is highest valency? Among the variable valencies, the highest number of valency is the actually highest valency of that element. For example, iron. The highest valency of iron is 3, sulfur 6, nitrogen 5, phosphorus 5, etc. Now, latent valency. What is latent valency? The difference between highest valency and active valency of an element is called its latent valency. For example, the latent valency of sulfur in hydrogen sulfide is 4. How? The highest valency of sulfur is 6 and the used valency of sulfur is 2 here. So, highest valency minus active valency, that is latent valency. So 6 minus 2 equal to 4. Another example, ferrous oxide, iron in ferrous oxide. You know that the highest valence of iron is 3 and in iron oxide, ferrous oxide, the active valence of iron is 2. So 3 minus 2 equal to 1. Nitrogen in nitrogen pentoxide. You know that the highest valence of nitrogen is 5 and in this compound the active valence of nitrogen is 5. So 5 minus 5 equal to 0. That means the latent valence of nitrogen in nitrogen pentoxide is 0. Now we will know about the variable valency of different atoms. That means how does an element show variable valency, or the reason of showing variable valencies of an atom. Follow the example. In case of carbon, carbon show 2 different valencies, that is 2 and 4, but why or how? The electronic configuration of carbon is this: 1s square, 2s square and 2p2, and according to Hund's rule, this 2p2 configuration actually px1 and py1. So the number of unpaired electron is 2, so the valence of carbon is 2. But in excited state, the electronic configuration of an atom is rearranged among the outermost shell among the different suborbital of outermost shell. Excited state means when an atom is excited due to applying external force. External force means applying heat or pressure, etc. So in that case, the number of electrons are rearranged in suborbital of outermost shell. Here 2p2, px1, py1, but in excited state 2s2, this pair will broken down and becomes unpaired. That means one electron from 2s orbital enters into 2pz orbital. So now the number of unpaired electron is 4, s1, px1, py1, pz1. Like this way, carbon forms 2 different valencies, 2 and 4. Here another example is already given, that is phosphorus 3 5. This is the electronic configuration of phosphorus 3s square 3p3 according to Hund's rule. The number of unpaired electron is 3, so main valency of phosphorus is 3, but in excited state one electron from 3s orbital enters into 3d orbital. You know that there are 5 types d orbital present, and one electron from 3s orbital enters into first d type orbital, 3d type orbital. So now number of unpaired electron is 1 2 3 4 5. So valency of phosphorus in excited state show 5. Like this way phosphorus shows variable valency 3 and 5. Now we will see the example of sulfur. You know that sulfur shows different variable valencies 2 4 6, and this is the electronic configuration. So according to configuration the number of unpaired electron is 2, so valency is 2, but in excited state here one electron from px orbital enters into p first d type orbital, 3d type orbital. For this the number of unpaired electron will be 4 and valency is 4. And more excitement, in more excited state another electron from 3s orbital enters into second d type orbital of third shell, that means 3d2 orbital, and now number of unpaired electron will be 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So now the number of unpaired electron is 6, so its valency is also be 6. Like this way sulfur show different valencies, that is 2 4 6. So like this way you have to explain, that means when question may come like this way, how does phosphorus show variable valency, so you have to explain like this way. Now we will see the valency of radicals. So at first radicals. What is radicals? When a group of atoms of different elements combine together receive positive or negative charges and act as an ion of an element, then they are called radicals. The number of charge, that is positive or negative, of radicals is their valency. Already you know about radicals. Follow the example. Here ammonium, and you know that the formula of ammonium is NH4. Here this is a group of atoms. When a group of atoms of different elements combine together, here one atom of nitrogen and 4 atoms of hydrogen combine together and receive positive or negative charge. Here it receives positive charge and act as ion of an element. It is act as ion of an element, then they are called radicals. So here ammonium ion is actually a radical, and its charge number is plus 1 plus means plus 1, so its valency is also be 1. Phosphonium, it is also a positively charged radical, pH4, so its valency is also be 1. These two radicals actually only positively charged radicals, but other all radicals they are negatively charged. You know that hydroxyl radical, nitrite radical, carbonate, bicarbonate, sulfate, hydrogen sulfate or bisulfate, sulfide, phosphate, etc. You know the formula of these radicals very well, so you have to also remember the charge number, because this charge number actually the valency of this radical. So to write the formula, molecular formula properly, you have to also memorize the formula of these radicals, and also you have to remember the valency of these radicals. Today I will give some questions for homework. I hope you are clearly understand today's topic. So following the lecture properly, you can easily determine the valence electron of these atoms, and you can also find out the valency showing my following the elements according to the given rules. So this is your homework. You have to determine the number of valence electron of these atoms: chromium, nitrogen, argon, copper, manganese, zinc, silver, lithium, oxygen and silicon, and you have to determine the valency of this metal and non-metal. So try to write the answer in 2 pages. Number 1 questions is in 1 page and number 2 question is in 2nd page. So my dear students, today up to this, and if you have any problem please share with me. So goodbye.